Are you new to property, or are you struggling to find out whether a property investment is a good deal or not? If this sounds like you, this video will help you out a lot. I'll show you guys how to calculate return on investment to determine whether a deal is worth your money or not. Property is a great way to grow your net worth without using your own money. Instead, we will be using other people's money. Let's call it the bank's money. It's a great way to grow your net worth instead of saving your money in a traditional savings account with your bank. Another great thing is that anyone can grow their net worth using property because it's such a great asset to use. Whether you are a professional, maybe you are starting out in your first job, or you are self-employed, and you can even buy property when you are unemployed. This is one of the reasons why property is a great asset class to include in your investment portfolio. With that said, I'm going to show you guys how to calculate return on investment, which will help us determine whether a deal is a good investment or not. Not all property is a good investment, so we need to use a few metrics to determine whether it's worth our hard-earned money. Before we jump into the return on investment calculation, I made a video about the 1% rule, which basically shows you a way to go and analyze deals quickly. So I'll share the link in the description, and definitely go and check out that video after this video, because this will save you quite a bit of time. So simply put, return on investment is your income minus all of your expenses, which gives you a cash flow amount. We multiply your cash flow amount with 12, which gives us an annual cash flow amount, and we divide your annual cash flow amount with your capital invested and multiply it by 100, which will give us a percentage. This percentage is known as return on investment, and this is a metric that we use to determine whether a property deal is a good deal or if it's a bad deal. We can't buy property and just guess whether it's a good investment or not, because like I said, not all property is a good investment. To make this a bit easier, I'll share an example with you guys from my screen to show you how exactly I calculate return on investment. So first of all, I'm going to highlight everything so that you can follow along. So we obviously have the property value, which in this example is 647,000. We made an offer of 600,000. And the amount of bond and registration cost that we will pay for a property worth 600,000 will be 44,500 rand. This will form part of the money that we need to put down in the deal. In other words, this is our capital invested. Usually capital invested is either a deposit or the bond and transfer cost. In this scenario, it will only be our bond and transfer cost. Once we have that calculated, we have to know what the rental income on this property will be. And for this example, we will use 12,000 rand. From there, we will need all of our expenses. In this case, it is our bond cost because it is fully financed. It is going to be our levies because it's a complex. It's going to be rates and taxes. We are going to pay an agent commission to run the property for us, and we'll use a 8% vacancy as well. This means that our total expenses for this property in a month will be 9,386 rand. What we then do is we use our rental income and we deduct our total expenses. This will give us either a positive or a negative cash flow. Cash flow in property is very important because this will show you whether a deal is good or not. In this scenario, we will have a cash flow of 2,613 rand every month, and then we multiply it by 12 to get a yearly cash flow, which gives us around 31,000 Rand, and then we divide it by our money down, which is 44,500, and we multiply it by 100, which will give us a return on investment of a massive 70%. This is all just kind of fictional numbers to give you guys an idea, and this is how we can use our return on investment calculation. The example that I showed you guys is just a quick way to show you how the calculation works. Again, simply put, it's your income, which is your rental income, minus all of your expenses, which would be your rates and taxes, your levies, your bond amount, vacancy, commission. This will give you either a negative or a positive cash flow amount, which we will multiply by 12 and divide by our capital invested, which is usually your deposit on the property or your bond and registration cost, or both. Multiply that amount by 100, which will give you a percentage. So this is why it is important, because in the example that I showed you, it gave us a return on investment of 70%, which clearly indicates that it is a good deal. And the powerful thing about return on investment calculations is because we can compare it with other investment classes. Let's say, for example, I get a return on investment of 6% with a property deal, and I can easily get 7% return on investment with a money market account while investing with my bank. Clearly, the 7% is a better option because there's a lot less work involved and you can just save your money and it keeps growing. But let's say I can get a property investment deal with a return on investment of 15%. This is clearly a better investment option because it's almost double the amount we can get from a money market account. So return on investment is a great way to compare investments and to show yourself whether it's a good deal or not. One tip that I want to give you guys is with return on investment, you need to play around with the numbers a bit, because 500 Rand year or 1,000 Rand year can completely change your return on investment calculation. So let me know down in the comments if this calculation is something that you will consider using to determine whether a property deal is a good deal or not. With that said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Definitely go and check out the 1% rule video. I've received a lot of good feedback about that video and I feel that it is really insightful information. With that said, I hope you guys enjoy your day and I'll see you in the next one.